Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Montana. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys to everybody for all of your support and stopping by and helping me out so much. Like, you guys have been absolutely insane. The past year was once again one of our best years ever. No matter how much I try to outdo myself, you guys always come through and help me. So thank you guys for that. But on top of that, I also want to say be safe out there. I know there's a lot going on. In the UK, we've got floods and canal breaches. In the United States right now, we're preparing for a double whammy of storms coming through, one of which is going on right now here in Ohio. The first storm isn't going to be too bad, 1 to 3 inches of snow. But the next one is supposed to be pretty nasty, and then followed by absolutely brutal cold. So yeah, anyway, for those of you out here in the US, be safe out there because the next storm is going to be pretty nasty. Whether you're getting the snow like we're supposed to get in Ohio, the ice storm that's supposed to be a little bit further south, maybe a little bit further west out there in like Missouri, Kentucky, that sort of thing. So be safe out there. And then, of course, beyond that, further south, they're actually expecting some like severe weather from like severe storms, potentially a tornado outbreak, that sort of thing. So the storm's going to be ridiculous. So it's going to affect a lot of people. Just be safe out there, okay? Anyway, as we get into the Montana, sometimes people forget that the Montana is just an absolute beast of a ship. And I don't know why people forget it, so I have to keep reminding people. Like, everybody be like, "Well, the Ohio, Spartan. The Ohio is just the best ship in the game." And I wouldn't necessarily argue against that, because the Ohio is incredibly good. But that still leaves the Montana just as good, in my opinion. Maybe it doesn't overmatch 30 mil. Maybe it doesn't have the enhanced heal or the longer range secondaries. But it's got 12 guns instead of 8. It's got the same armor as the Ohio, because the Ohio is on the Montana hull. And you can still overmatch anything that's 27 millimeter or less. Speaking of 27 millimeters or less, this Des Moines has showed up. And I'm not going to lie, this first shot, I was about ready to throw my controller. Watch this. Bonk! Really? We just ricocheted 4 rounds off of a Des Moines. Now, the only way that happens is because of the angle that he's at. We hit too far back on a ship. He has an armor belt just like everybody else does, right? And that armor belt just saved his life. But let's be honest. It's more of a fluke than anything else. I overmatch his bow. He's lucky that those shells hit further back and didn't kill him. And this is exactly why I say it was luck. You don't get lucky twice, sunshine. Sorry. Some people do, but not you. Now, I didn't want to rush straight in because, again, I have a destroyer in the cap on the enemy team. My destroyer's doing circles. Now, I'm not going to argue about how good the destroyer did or didn't do. He torped the crap out of a Des Moines. That's always a good day. Anytime you see a destroyer actively helping get rid of a radar cruiser, that's impressive. And not putting himself in a stupid position in the process. But we've got a lot of firepower against us. And speaking of Ohio and destroyer, here we go. See, this is why we don't have nice things. This is why we don't have nice things, folks. You do one thing good, and then you immediately make up for it by being an absolute potato. We've all been there. Not hating the player, just fun moments in World of Warships Legends. But we get a nice shot out, get 3 hits on the Z-46 to try to discourage him, you know? Make sure that he knows that I'm ready to send him to the Shadow Realm if given the opportunity.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Now, the Ohio decides that he is invincible and decides to over-angle to get all of his guns to bear, but fortunately, he does have the wherewithal to get himself angled again, so we can't rely on the shots to go through the belt. So we aim high, hit that superstructure, and we are fully capable of smashing the superstructure as well. So, again, everybody says the Ohio is this amazing thing, and I love the Ohio. It's a great boat. But the beauty of World of Warships Legends, in my opinion, is the options, right? Like, yes, every ship can be absolutely crazy in the right hands, right? Are there some ships that are just innately better than others? And that was a terrible shot by me. But I had to test, right? Like, I don't know exactly what the pin angle is on this thing. I know it's good, but I had to test to see if I could go through. And clearly, you had one job. You had one job. It's in Ohio, man. Why are you trying to bow tank in Ohio? Golly, these people never learn. But, yeah, here you can see he starts to go forward. I aim for the bow side plating. I should be able to go through here. And, as he goes forward, I didn't lead him enough, and I hit most of those into the belt again. This is a perfect example of what I call potato aim. Why is it potato aim? Because this is the kind of aim that I get when I try to trick people into shooting my belt. You guys hear me do it all the time, right? Well, I'm not going to fall for it a third time. We're going for superstructure. Screw this. See how much better that is? 10 overpins and 1 full pin into the superstructure. Okay? That's 11 out of 12 shells hitting the target. Ain't no other ship doing that. I'm sorry. It just doesn't happen. Even Colombo, as good as it is, isn't landing all of the shells out of the 16-gun salute. So, that's why I love this ship. Oh my god, you little turd. You have royally fucked up. Oh, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you real good. Give me one reason that I don't send you to the Shadow Realm. But we know he's out there. Ohio's gone. Now we have another Montana. This Montana, not quite as proficient at angling as the Ohio was. This guy is just going to sit here over-angled as crap and wait to die. Which is fine with me because I'm more than happy to oblige him. And my teammates have already slapped him too. But watch this. Straight for the second turret, easy citadel, right? It's like, it's guaranteed. Now, our secondaries are shooting. Teammates are shooting. The destroyer has chosen death. I'm sorry, destroyer, but this is stupid. You had one opportunity, one chance. Oh my god. Really, game? Really? I've got a destroyer on top of me. Notice my other 2 destroyers have come over to help. Notice that? Both of them head in this direction. One of them's kind of sitting in the middle. But both of them were heading in this direction. One of them is actively engaging this destroyer. What a concept. What an absolute goat. Okay? A gunboat that's willing to hunt down and destroy other destroyers. It's unheard of in World Warships Legends. Almost like teamwork. Oh my god. Can't have teamwork out here, but yeah, you're done. Told you. I told you I was going to send you to the Shadow Realm. Now, right now you're going, 108,000 damage? Like, what are you doing, Spartan? I've fought everything that's on this side of the map. I've done my job. Helped get rid of the destroyer. Helped get rid of the Des Moines. Helped get rid of the Ohio. Helped get rid of the Montana. That is literally everything on my side of the map. And now I've got to help get rid of the rest of it. But I've also managed to put myself in a cap. You see the difference between me playing Battleships and a lot of the other Battleships playing Battleships? Like, not only am I usually in a pretty solid position to help with the team, some people sometimes say I overextend, and I do. There's that. But, again, I do this for entertainment, right? My goal is to get entertaining videos for you guys. So I tend to play a lot more aggressively than most people should. And oh my god, Montana. That is beautiful. For the range, I'll take it. That was 4, 5, 6, 7, and then some others that I didn't get a count. But it was a lot of rounds hitting the target. Not all of them did damage, but still, accuracy. That is the one thing. Accuracy and 12 guns. This thing is absurd. Always has been, always will be. Just consistent, reliable damage. But notice there's another smoke screen right off my bow, right? A lot of people don't pay attention to this sort of stuff. We know the destroyer is there. You can see I'm actually going to try to measure him up here. Never intending to actually go for the destroyer right out the gate. because I know the Ruprecht is trying to set up a torp strike. Again, like, these are the little things that you got to pay attention to, right? Knowing your enemy, knowing, oh my god, hello, Yamato. Well, so much for that plan. I'll have to deal with the Ruprecht when he gets here. But broadside Yamato, got to take that shot. You miss all the shots you don't take, I got to take the shot. And hope that I reload in time. Now, we know that the destroyer is there. We do end up citadeling, and we land 11 shells at 18 kilometers. Name another ship that does that. You can't. It doesn't exist. Only the Montana. Also, torpedoes. Casual is because Montana. But end up missing there because the torpedoes end up finding him first. And now look at this destroyer. This destroyer has put himself between a rock and a hard place. He sold out to get me. He put every egg in his basket of taking me out there. And he managed to then not only not do that, but then sail himself right around the corner into right in front of my teammate, who is also beating the shit out of him. Like, you got to pay attention to what's going on. You got to have an exit strategy, okay? If you're in a destroyer in this situation, you got to maintain some sort of an exit strategy. You can't just put yourself in a pickle to where you can't get out, right? Like, if you're trying to carry a game, and the Z-52 is one of those ships that is fully capable of carrying a game, okay? It's got ridiculously long-range sonar, it's got good guns, it's got good fire rate, it's got torpedoes that reload quickly, it's got a lot of tools at its disposal. You don't get to use those tools if you swing and a miss, and then you're stuck between two battleships and a gunboat destroyer or whatever. Like, you got to be smarter than that. And that's what a lot of destroyer players get into trouble, because they sell out. Okay? Look at that shot. Oh my god, dude. This thing is so good. I don't care what anybody says. The Montana is just an absolute unit. And a lot of people will be like, well, Spartan, I didn't get the Ohio. Why should, I'm so sorry that I didn't get it. First of all, I told you to get it. Like, I don't ever tell people to get ships, right? So when I make those recommendations, like, you don't want to miss this, trust. But other than that, like, you don't need to go out and get a super premium ship that you spend $100 or more to get. There are plenty of like tech tree, 3,500 base XP, top of the leaderboard, with 202,000 damage in the Montana, just representing the OGs of legendary tier, right? So, I say OGs. The Montana took a long time to get into the game, but I'm just saying, it's one of the staples of legendary tier for a reason. It is incredibly good. The Colombo, incredibly good. Yamato, in the right hands, not a Yamater, incredibly good. But so many people are out there. Conqueror, again, incredibly good. So many people out there are like, oh, I don't have the premiums and I don't understand. It's like, dude, I just showed you a tech tree, bureau project, but tech tree version of a legendary tier battleship with just a free-to-play build with this William Sims, with Paolo the Rebel, and I think it's Andrew Cunningham. Just my regular William Sims build. I just showed you guys. So you don't have to go out there and spend all this money. You don't have to. I got asked the other day, well, how long will it take me to get the Yamato, and should I spend money on it? And I told people, I said, well, if you got all the stuff, it can take as little as 5 weeks and as much as several months. That is the difference between having everything you need to speed up progress and electing to spend 30,000 gold, which is absurd. Don't do it. Don't speed those projects up. Just go through them, let them cook, right? Log in every 24 hours, make sure that the progress keeps going. Do all your challenges in AI so that it's quick and easy. Like, these are the things that a lot of people forget about. Everybody wants to go out buy the brand new shiny stuff, but it's okay if you don't, right? Just because you don't have that stuff doesn't mean you can't compete. All it takes is a little bit of knowledge about what you're up against, right? And that's what we're here for. I may not be the best player, never have claimed to be the best player, but I know enough to help the average player up their game. So if I've helped you up your game, make sure you guys punch that like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.